Okay, hello everybody, JT Bear here, playing outside with the archery equipment again. What a surprise. The other day I was flipping around on YouTube, you know how you get, you click in, checking a thumbnail, and I saw a young lady take a beautiful Mossberg shotgun to a pumpkin point blank, and I thought to myself, that's not really carving a jack-o'-lantern, that's making a hole in a pumpkin. So I've decided to, in JT Bear fashion, take my own sort of response, and today we're going to test a few of the arrowheads I picked up in that other video. For example, here is that expandable broadhead that frankly I'm expecting to explode. Here we have the Muzzy Phantom, which I'm a little worried about getting out from the backstop, but we will see how that goes. And just for crits and giggles, I have the blunt tip that, you know, I don't know, give a rabbit a heart attack or just break its little ribs or whatever the deal is with this. Shooting stumps, I guess, ultimately is kind of what I'm thinking. We'll see how bad these arrows bend with that. But that's not what we're doing today. Today, we're carving a jack-o'-lantern with some archery equipment. Let's play. Alright, so the first one I'm going to try here is that expandable broadhead, because I'm just curious. And I'm going to say that did not make much of a hole in the pumpkin. We'll get to pulling that out in a minute though. Next off, let's try this Muzzy Phantom broadhead. This thing just looks mean. I've got all 4 blades on it right now because I'm used to shooting 125 grain. That definitely punctured the pumpkin. And then for the third shot on this one, just that little blunt arrowhead, and we'll see what that does. If you're curious to see a better shot of impact, I do have my little fake GoPro camera set up, and that'll be a different video. Well, not bad for my grouping. Let's get closer and take a look. Alright, well, let's take a look at this. I don't know how well this is going to show up in the camera, but looks like my other camera just fell. I don't know how well this is going to show up in the camera, but that Muzzy broadhead did a fabulous job of just slicing right into that pumpkin. Really looking forward to trying that on meat. That cut looks really clean. The expandable broadhead opened up, did a pretty good job of ripping the skin, and this is a pretty tough skin on a pumpkin. I don't know if you ever shot at one before, but you know, the PVC bow probably wouldn't have gone through. And then here on the top, we've got that blunt tip, and that just punched right in there like nobody's business. I think it was Meatloaf that sang 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So I guess this pumpkin's name is Meatloaf. But we can clearly see how the Muzzy definitely outperformed the expanding broadhead when it comes to puncturing through both sides. So if I wasn't sure before, I'm definitely sure now. And it is these Muzzies that I'm going to be using because I want a good clean cut through both lungs. You know, be fair as it is and make a clean kill. Anyway, I'm going to try and pull these out and we'll take another crack at carving my pumpkin. So you can see from where my fingers are, they were on the skin of the pumpkin when I pulled it out. That's how much penetration we got out of this Muzzy Phantom. So for the price, I'm going to say that's a pretty nice blade. Next in line, we've got that blunt tip. Didn't go in quite as far, but made a mess of whatever it encountered, that's for sure. And then third and finally, we have the expandable broadhead that didn't even fully open. Oh, and conveniently enough, the little rubber band marks exactly how far through it went. So from this test alone, I'm going to say when it comes to deer or moose, I'm definitely using that Muzzy Phantom. Wonder if they'll sponsor me. If you're watching, let me know. Alright. So far, that's what our so-called jack-o'-lantern looks like. That's not going to let a lot of light through. I think we need to take another go. Maybe Shocks wants to give it a shot. Alright, so round 2, we're going to do this in the same order with the expanding broadhead, except this time I don't even have the elastic on it because I really don't care. And then we're going to be using the Muzzy and the blunt again. think that one slipped right off the top of the pumpkin.
I missed it. It did. You can see the skid marks. That's awesome.
Once again, that muzzy's pretty good. You can tell I haven't been doing enough practicing, but I can't go out into the woods and play because it's hunting season. And they don't like me doing this in the backyard.
And that thud, I think it shot some flying.
Alright, I'll go get the pumpkin. We'll take another look.
What's going on, JT?
Well, I went to lift the pumpkin and I found there was a little problem with my plan. Apparently, that muzzy dug right into our bucket. I'm gonna have to set that back up again too. Look at that exit wound. Actually, both of those, pretty nice. This might be the new front of the pumpkin. Alright, I'll fix this and we'll get back to the close-ups. While I did miss the pumpkin with that first, or second, I guess, shot with this expanding broadhead, I did learn something quite valuable about this, because it did go through the press board behind it, quite a ways through the press board behind it, and I had to yank it out backwards. And as we can see, these blades are still fairly intact. I'm really surprised, because I was basically told by a few different people as soon as these hit anything solid, those blades were going to snap right off. So apparently I'm going to have to work a little bit harder at breaking these arrowheads. But don't worry, I'll get it done. Taking another look in the light at the back side of that, this muzzy cuts a pretty nice sharp edge through there. It's a very solid piece of pumpkin cut off there. Missed the compost, what a surprise. I'm definitely impressed with that as a broadhead. Not seeing any damage from it, even though it nicked the compost bucket. And once again, that blunt tip arrowhead's got, I kind of thought this was supposed to bounce off of stuff, not just punch through it anyway, so intriguing. I smell pumpkin blood. One more go. So, same order, expandable, muzzy, blunt. At least I hit it that time. This Muzzy Phantom is a pretty nice blade. But it always seems to drop a little bit on me. But it's dropping consistently, so I can compensate for that. Yeah, that's going to need some other form of carving. Our third and final round. This is kind of what we're looking at. What do you think? Should I try and carve a pumpkin with a pellet gun next? Stay tuned. We'll see if the pellet guns will even penetrate in our next video. If you're curious to see what the up-close shots out of the FoPro produced for me, a little Vivitar camera, you should by all means keep an eye out for that too. It takes me a little longer to process that stuff on my computer though.
Let your fingers on the bottom.
Yeah. Alright everybody, this is JT Bear for JT's Outdoor Adventures. Saying, well, you can carve a pumpkin with your archery equipment, but it's going to take a lot more patience than I've got. At this point, I would probably still recommend something a little more traditional, like a shotgun. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day.
I don't know, JT made me do it. I'm loving it. I've actually nailed the pumpkin a couple of times. So let's see how I do under pressure. Yeah! Score! Neighbors cheering us on and everything. Oh, I almost got the fly.
Aim small. So how are you finding that homemade finger tap, by the way?
It's pretty freaking amazing. A little large, but I'm figuring it out.
We need to get you a bow more appropriate for your size.
Oh, yeah.
Alright everybody, remember to click like if you think Shock should get her own bow. They got some really pretty pink ones at Backcountry Sports.
Pink.
Pink bow.
Yeah.
Nice shooting, Tex. Still trying to knock this piece out here. Well, we got kind of a mouth going. I think we're definitely going to have the most unusual jack-o'-lantern on the block.
I think so.
So you get one of the broken arrows and leave it sticking out of it?
Yeah.
There we go.
It's looking pretty gnarly. Maybe needs more of an eyeball up on the top right.
Kind of, eh? Try to expand this area here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We can put a pirate patch over the eye.
Just abstract jack-o'-lantern work. So up a little bit more.
I think it's still too covered in junk for these to... Are you videoing me?
I am.
Hi. I didn't get any sideways though.
Well, it doesn't really show up very well in the dark, but this isn't really an in-the-dark kind of camera. But you can clearly see that there are holes all the way through that pumpkin.
I think we should shove the other lights in and do another shot.
There, we threw a couple of cheap LED lights in there and spin it slow.
I'm just worried about dropping it in the bathtub.
Well, that'll make a bloopers reel, won't it? We clearly missed a large patch of this pumpkin.
Well, we couldn't really get it down there. That's the down part, remember? It's lumpy. Yeah, we're in the bathroom because it is the darkest room in the house right now and it's still the middle of the afternoon. It looks really cool.
It kind of really does. So there you go. That is JT and Shock saying, if you're going to carve a pumpkin, have a little fun with it. I can honestly say I've never had this much fun carving a pumpkin in my life.
Yeah, this was a blast to do. My favorite by far.
Alright, thanks for watching everybody. Have a great day and play safe. Here I thought I was being so smart.